So you are at the virtual MS information session and student panel. Today, I'm going to start with the info session and then I'll stop screen sharing. And after that, we'll go to our student panel and we'll also have time for Q&A at that point. You can either put questions in the chat after the info session during the panel, or you can raise your hand and ask those questions. We are recording, but after the student panel, it'll continue to record, but we can cut off the part where there are questions. So to introduce myself, my name is Vera Dorash. I'm the Senior Graduate Program Manager in Mechanical Engineering, and I'm just really excited that you're all here today, and I look forward to sharing you more about our program with you. So just to go over our agenda quickly, we'll meet our presenters, application process, talk about the different tracks and potential paths that students can take, as well as important contacts who to reach out to, and then our student panel. So here are our student leaders, and a few of them are here today for the panel. So these are students who Ahadi was an ambassador last year. Carlota was an MS thesis student and on our grad committee last year and is graduating, I think, this year. Sadvik and Saravana are both here as our leaders in the program. Sadvik, I believe you are one of our ambassadors, and then Aiden and Saravana are our Aiden is an ambassador and Saravana sits on our graduate committee. So we'll do further introductions during the student panel. I'll allow the students who are on the panel to introduce themselves at that time. And let's see if they have okay. So, and then also at the contact section at the very end, you'll see who your graduate program specialist is. That's Megan Vara. I'm just here to fill in while she's out today. So, all right. So if you haven't applied yet, the spring applications are coming up quickly. Fall applications, you have a little bit more time. But these are the general requirements. If you haven't applied, we do need to have an application form from you, an application fee. That's the prices are listed there. A resume or a CV if you have one. A personal statement where you talk about your background, why you're applying to our program, why mechanical engineering is CU Boulder, and then some of the things you'd like to do while you're here, classes you'd like to take, or what some of your goals are, both professional and if you're interested in research goals. And then there's an optional research statement. So most of our students are MS professional students, meaning their coursework only, and their goal is to work in industry after they graduate. But we do have a group of students here who pursue research, and some of those students also end up doing a thesis program, and I'll talk more about that later. So if you are interested in pursuing research, you can submit an optional research statement. Unofficial transcripts are required. They don't have to be official. 2 recommendation letters. And then if you're international applicants, you do have to take a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo. Those can be unofficial scores. And there are some exceptions. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to Megan. Some students are able to waive out of that requirement. If you have applied, keep checking your email. Application review is started for those who have completed their full applications. And so we will try to get those decisions out on a rolling basis as applications come in. Right now, we're prioritizing spring applicants, but once that review is done, we'll start reviewing fall applicants. So in the meantime, you can look into housing in the Boulder area and activities, reach out to our ambassadors and ask them about their student experience, set up a meeting. If you're able to come to campus and tour if you'd like. It's always fun to do that. So, and then you can also reach out, like I mentioned, our ambassadors or graduate program specialists. Deadlines, these are important to keep in mind. International applicants, if you're applying for the spring term, your deadline is coming up on Monday at 10 p.m. Mountain. So please get everything in by then. If you are still waiting for a letter to come in, that's okay, but everything else should come in. But you do want to get everything in. You have to submit that application by that deadline. We can't make exceptions. Domestic applicants, you have a little bit more time, October 1. And the international applicant deadline is a little bit sooner because we have to process the unofficial transcripts and the language scores. We just need a little bit more time. Our team needs a little bit more time with that. And then fall, we do have one deadline, which is very nice, February 5th. So international and domestic applicants, go ahead and submit your applications by that deadline. If they come in earlier, we will try to review them, but at some point we only have one graduate admission committee. And so Sometimes PhD applications are prioritized, but we try to get these out on a rolling basis. So here is something you might questions about. When will my application be reviewed? So this is a lovely slide that shows you that if you're applying for spring, our goal is to review those by October, early November. And your application, if you submit everything, this is the timeline. If you're missing a letter or something is outstanding, it will slow down the application. Or your application might not get reviewed if all of your items aren't in by a certain date. So admission offers come in mid to late October, so you can keep your eye out for that. Those will be sent to you via email. Typically, you'll get an email notifying that there's an update in your application, and you go into the application portal and you can find your decision there. If you're applying for fall of 2026, application review is in February and March. So you will, that review happens a little bit later because that deadline is later. And again, this is as long as you have all your materials in. And if you're missing any items, you will get reminders, but to make it easy, just submit everything as soon as you have it and by the deadline. Admission offers for fall, February through early March. We will have an on-campus visit day for admitted students in late March. I believe we'll cover a night of hotel stay, which is really nice, and food for that day. So this is a wonderful opportunity if you're local or are able to come to campus. Late March is when we'll have that day, the on-campus visit day. And then admitted student decision deadline will be on April 24th. So here's a little bit more about our programs. So this chart is nicely broken up by our three main focus areas, or main programs, not focus areas. So MS thesis, this is for students who you can actually do research as an MS professional student. You can take an independent study with a professor and work on a research project. You can work in their lab and just, be a research assistant. And so that's an option. But the thesis option is where you actually enroll in the thesis credits and you write and defend a thesis, which is a paper about your work. So you have to be interested in writing at this point and defending your work. So it's a lot more extensive and more of a commitment. And this program is a good option for students who want to pursue a research and development professional role, maybe later apply for a PhD program, or obtain a position in academia if you want to eventually be a faculty member. If you're interested in academia as a faculty member, likely you would have to get a PhD, but the thesis program will set you up for that. And there's an option if you're a thesis student or even a professional student here in mechanical to apply for the program internally to the PhD program. MS professional students, this is coursework only. So you don't have an exam, a cumulative program exam. You will have exams in your classes, of course, and you won't have a thesis project. And this is for students who want to develop professional leadership industry skills, focus on project-based coursework, and participate in research in a more casual role. The MS dual program, and so these first two programs are 30 credits each. The MS dual degree program is many more credits because you're actually going to enroll in a mechanical engineering master's degree as well as engineering management degree. And so you'll be taking, I think, an additional 24 credits. So this program enables students to merge technical master's degree with the leadership focused master's degree, which would be engineering management. So it's for students who are seeking a strong education in both technical and fundamental topics, as well as the skills required to be a leader in industry and the public sector. So if you're interested in management, leadership, even finance, those kinds of areas, the dual degree might be of interest to you. All right. And these are our focus areas. So there's a lot of different options. And when you're applying, don't worry too much about picking the right focus area. I would pick the one that most closely aligns with your research interests. And keeping in mind that you might have interests that are interdisciplinary. You might be interested in air quality as well as microsystems or materials and biomedical. So that's really common for our students to have varied interest. For the focus area, I would just pick an area to help you start with, kind of have a focus when you're applying to the program. But once you're here, these areas don't actually show up on your transcript. The certificates do if you do pursue one of those. That's something to keep in mind. But there's options in air quality, clean tech, energy, environment. You can pursue biomedical, computational modeling, simulation analysis, design. Design does have a strict course sequencing, so that's something to keep in mind if you do pursue that program. You have to take advanced product design and design for manufacturability in year 1 and year 2, the grad design. It's a year-long project. So this is a very popular program with our students because you get to do an actual project with either a faculty member who's working on a project or with an industry partner. So that's a really neat opportunity. Flex, that's where you just want to take whatever classes you want and are flexible. This one is nice if you're working full-time and you need more flexibility in your schedule. But the other options tend to have quite a bit of flexibility as well. Food engineering, you can get a certificate in that. Mechanics of materials and materials, microsystems, and then robotics and controls are all options that you can pursue. And that also shows where our courses are. A lot of our courses are in those areas. Certificates, this is a really great add-on to your degree. And the best thing about these certificates, I encourage you to get any one of them, is that they can double count toward your degree. So the certificates aren't going to double count for, you can't do food engineering and biomedical if the course is cross-list. You don't want to double count those. But for instance, if you do the MS Professional, which is 30 credits or 10 courses, you pursue food engineering. 3 of those courses that you pursue for this certificate will also apply for your degree. So you won't have to take extra classes, which is super nice. So we do have a food engineering certificate program, which is fantastic. You can take design of coffee, design of chocolate, design of beer was recently added, and then other technical courses as well as interdisciplinary courses. Biomedical focuses on the biomedical space. We have quite a number of courses in that area. Advanced mechanics and failure analysis, and then mechanical design and product development. So if you're interested in design and product development, that one is actually one of our most popular certificates. Important contacts. So if you have questions, who do you reach out to? Megan Vara is your main graduate program specialist, and her email is right there, and you can book an appointment with her if you would like. But she would answer questions about the requirements of the program and about the program. If you have questions about what's required, the focus areas, things like that. Questions about student experience, Aiden and Sadvik are your go-to graduate ambassadors. And they're in the program, they're current students, and we've hired them in the department to be able to speak about their experience with you, as well as to share suggestions, if you have questions about housing or classes or acclimating to Boulder, all of those things our students can help with. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and start with the student panel portion of our program today. So if you are a panelist, go ahead and spotlight yourself. That would be great, and I'll get the questions up. So, all right, Carlota, I think I'm gonna see if I can spotlight you. You have to, Carlota, if you're there, go ahead and put your camera on. You have to do that before you can spotlight yourself. There you are. Okay. All right. Oh, and I guess I should spotlight myself. So wonderful. Okay, we're all here. Let me pull up the questions real quick so I have them. But while I do that, why don't you go ahead and each introduce yourselves, name, pronouns, whether you're MS professional or thesis. I don't know if either of you are in the dual degree. If you are, share that. And then your research or focus area. So let's go with Sadvik, Carlota, and then Saravana.
All right. Hey everyone, I'm Sadvik and my pronouns are he, him. I'm an MS professional student here in the design focus area, and my background has been in mechanical design as well, and I've also spent some time in the industry. So yeah, nice to meet you all.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Carlota Serrano. I'm originally from Spain. I did my undergrad in aerospace engineering, and then I changed and did my master's here at Colorado Boulder. I started as a master professional student, and then I changed to MS thesis. So I'm a little bit aware of the transition, what things to consider in MS professional, MS thesis, how to find advisors. I really liked it overall. MS professional and MS thesis, you get a lot of flexibility to choose your classes, and you also get to have some industry experience. Thanks to this master program, I was able to do some internships, and currently I'm doing one in California. I'm passionate about automotive and human-centered design. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to reach out.
That's right. I forgot you were in California. So thanks for joining us. That's the benefit of doing
Yeah,
Zoom
of
in
course.
person.
No problem.
All right. Saravana, go ahead.
Yeah. Hey all, I'm Sarana. I'm originally from India. I'm an MS professional student and my pronouns are he and him. I started with a design focus because I have a professional background on like design engineering. I've been a design engineer for like 6 to 7 years. So later I just chose to be flexible, just concentrating on thermal management on modern electronics. So it's been great here doing some courses on heat transfer and everything. Yeah. If you have any questions on the thermal management, let me know. Yeah. Thank you.
I think this is the first time I've heard someone say it's been great to take heat transfer. Usually that's a class that students I struggle in a good way, I guess.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right. So thanks for those introductions. It's wonderful to hear a little bit about your background. And it's nice that we have a mix of professional thesis as well as the work experience piece, because some of our students come with several years of work experience and others come straight from undergraduate, and both are welcome in the program. So can you talk about, so funding comes up quite a bit with our MS program because it is a self-funded program. So can you talk about your experience with funding your studies, and do you have any suggestions for students who are thinking about how they're going to pay for their degree? Sadvik, you look like you're going to
Maybe
say
I can
something.
start.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
So
then jump in after him. Mhm.
yeah, as master students, we're generally expected to fund our own studies, but the department has a lot of ways to support students. They have a good amount of scholarships. They have good amount of grants as well. They may not cover the complete tuition, but for sure it's going to be a great support. And also there are a lot of work opportunities as well in the department. You could be course assistants or teaching assistants, graders for many graduate and undergraduate courses where you can gain some experience and some financial assistance as well. And you can also explore third party or external funding opportunities. I think the department also has a list of external scholarships as well. And if you're able to secure an internship, that would also kind of ease your financial burden a bit. So there's no direct scholarship, but there are a lot of opportunities offered by the department and external to help you in some way.
Yeah, and you can do an internship for credit. So you can take it for credit as well as do a paid internship, which is nice. So if you want to do that, or just do it without taking it for credit.
I can go next and talk a little bit about my experience. For me, it was definitely a big decision because I come from Spain. My parents are not super crazy and have very like regular jobs. So I it was a big decision for me, and I was a little bit worried about going there without having an advisor, without finding a job that could support my master's. But I have to say it is hard to find an advisor and just communicate through them via email because they're very busy. A lot of students send emails. So sometimes it's not that they don't want to answer you or that they're avoiding you, but just that they receive so many emails that it's hard to catch up. And the most efficient way to find an advisor, to find a job at the university is by going there, knocking on the door of each professor, showing your interest, what are your skills, trying to network and meet people so that you can get a chance to have this kind of opportunities. So I would say do not get disencouraged if for some reason the advisors are not answering you, or you might go there without having a job, because it's a lot easier to find it once you are at the university. So that's what I did. I went as an MS professional, self-funded, and through my first semester, I funded with my own money. And then what I did is I did networking. I tried to find an area that I was good at and try to show my interest and my potential, so that, and then I got an hourly appointment to do research with my current advisor. So that's how then I transitioned to MS thesis in my second semester. So for sure, you're going to have a lot of opportunities where you can work on campus and find advisors, but just as an experience, it was hard for me to do it while I was in Spain, but once I was at the university, it was a lot easier. And again, also the internships helped a lot. So the fact that you're at least as an international student, sometimes it can be difficult to find jobs, but through the university, you have all your paperwork, so you can do internships. I've been doing, this is my third internship at Lucid Motors, which is an automotive company, and I've been able to pay most of my master's thanks to this as well. So you will have I believe 12 months of CPT where you can do internships, and then after your master's you are eligible for OPT, which are 3 years of working in, if it's a STEM field. So yeah, consider that as well. Maybe you might be losing money at the beginning, but you're investing in your education so that then you can have more job opportunities later on.
Thank you. That was a lot of really good information, Carlota. Something else to think about too, which I didn't mention, if you're thinking about doing a thesis program, when you apply to our program, you're applying only to the MS professional. That's the only option. Once you're on campus, though, you can take a class with someone whose research interests you, and then that's a good way to get to talk to them, go to their office hours, or meet with others once, like Carlota said, once you're on campus. So students typically don't start out with the MS thesis program. They generally transition after they've been on campus and then have started working on research once they're here. So don't feel pressure that if you haven't gotten a research advisor by the time you come to the program, that's okay and that's normal. Typically students do that after they've been here. So anyway, Saravana, anything else to add?
Yeah, I have just one thing to add. So, since I've said I'm from India, so my education is completely backed by the loan. So there's a good reputation. Our university is listed in all the international banks, so you don't find a hard time to just get education loans if you are applying for that. And speaking about the internships, as Sadvik said, there are lots of startups here in Boulder as well as in Denver. So you have a good opportunity to just secure an internship during the summer, or even during the fall. You can just get co-ops, and you can just fund some of the money to your college fee or something. And on the part-times, our department offers several part-time, like TA ships and then the course assistant, which actually pays really good. So, and there are plenty of opportunities for that. On that front, I think we are actually good. So these are the fundings that I have thought of. Yeah.
Yeah, I think right now our MS course assistant is $21 an hour or something like that. But if you work for a research assistantship, some faculty, some students will do it without pay. If the faculty, I would think of each lab as its own startup. And so if the faculty member has the funding and can pay you, they will hourly. And that can range anywhere from $15 to $25 an hour typically. But some students are able to get paid that way. And then you can also get work at the campus. I know some students work in the dining center and different things like that. So there are opportunities, and you can work as an international student up to 20 hours per week. And as a domestic student, 25, which we don't recommend 25. You should be focusing on classes, but 20 is usually manageable. So the next question is, tell me.
I wanted to
Yeah, go
add to
ahead.
this, sorry. For some reason, I was very structured in my way of like finishing and ending stages of my life. So in Spain, I was like, okay, by 19, I have to finish my my high school. I have to start majoring, and then by 23, I have to do this. And I was focused a lot on how much it would take me. So I was thinking in my mind, okay, my master's, I have to finish it in 1 year or in 1.5 years because I need to start working. And I had a very close mindset on how much it should take me to find my education. But it's actually very relaxed here. You can spend 1 year, 2 years. Well, usually it's 2 years doing your master's, but if you find internships and maybe you're in fall semester doing an internship, it's okay if it takes you a little bit longer to finish your master's, as long as you can provide proof that what the internship that you're doing is supporting your education and is related to your master field. So I would say do not worry about how much time it's going to take you to finish your master's if it's going to help you in the end to find more opportunities outside
Yeah.
of university.
Well said. I think typically like 1 year is really fast. We have some bachelor
Yeah.
accelerated master students who start in the undergraduate program and then continue to get their masters here and that, but they get to double count some credits, so they might do it in a year. But typically it's 2 years, and students who rush through it, if you're trying, or some students work full time or part time, and they might do it over 3 years and just take their time to do that. So I think you have up to 4 years to complete your program. But I would say when you have that student card, that gives you opportunities that are harder to come by after you graduate. So like an internship as a student is a lot easier to come by. And so I think if students who rush through their degrees and don't have as much time for that, for those opportunities, might be missing out on professional development, networks, and things that could lead to a better job. So I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, Carlota. All right, so I'm going to combine the next two questions. So the first one is, why did you choose CU Boulder? And then connect that with, what can you talk about the culture, what it's like here in mechanical engineering, as well as in Boulder? And I think it'd be interesting to, I mean, I love that we're all international students here. Maybe even your transition from where you were coming from to what it's like here. So why CU Boulder? Why did you choose it? And then talk about the culture here. Maybe we'll start with Sadvik.
Yep. For me, choosing CU Boulder was like a pretty straightforward option because I was looking at flexibility in the program, and CU Boulder has one of the most flexible programs that are offered in the country as well, and as well as the amount of resources and facilities that we have, especially for me who's in the design focus area. The design center here at CU Boulder, helps us out with our personal projects. They get good industry sponsored projects so that we can gain some professional experience and all. The courses are great here, and especially the graduate certificate option that we have here, that would, as international students looking for jobs, that would add add another point to our profile, which will help us out in, getting jobs and stuff. And as a department, the culture is pretty supportive. Everyone here, the faculty, the staff are out there to support you. Even the professors, when it comes to research and all, they might be a bit busy with work, but if you're consistent in approaching them, they'll definitely reach out to you and, help you out with any doubts or any opportunities that they have. And talking about Boulder, as a person coming from India, I was kind of overwhelmed. Thinking and anxious how it would be here, but the people here are very welcoming. The city is great. We have mountains on one side, so if you're interested in nature, you have access to that. And we're just 40 minutes away from Denver, so you get the best of both worlds. The food is great here, and if you're into breweries, we have some great breweries here. So yep. And I was also kind of skeptical, will there be a lot of snow? But we have at least 300 days of sunlight over here. So someone coming from India, like a hot country, the transition was pretty good. So you have nothing to worry about, just great experience.
That's good to hear. Thanks, Sadvik. Saravana, you want to go? Carlota, you wanted me to go for it.
Okay, let me go. I would say I selected CU Boulder, especially because of the design focus area that they have for their masters. I was looking for a master that would teach me about the design processes, a little bit more of how to design for people, how to incorporate customers' needs into the designer's perspectives, how to create better products for our communities. So I thought that the design masters at CU Boulder suited very well with my ambitions and my objectives. I thought, like, when I read through all the subjects or all the courses that you can take, I was interested in a lot of them. So I was like, I know this is going to be a good place because I'm already excited about taking these classes. It's not like they're forcing me to take it or I don't find any that I like. It was the opposite. I was like, okay, I have to shortlist what I should have, what I really want to do because I have too many that I cannot take all of them. So I would say if you're still doubting if you like this masters or if you want to do this masters, for me, I went through all the courses. I read the descriptions. If I have any questions, I would reach out to Megan or to anyone who is in the department to let you know a little bit more about the class. And also just looking at the pictures of the University of Colorado, seeing the super nice mountains. People here have a very active lifestyle. They love keeping themselves healthy, not mentally, but also physically. They're all, you see a lot of people running and hiking and rock climbing and skiing. And I really like that environment. So I knew this was going to be a good place to be at. And also, yeah, the sunlight as well is really good. Winter can get a little bit hard because it's very cold for me, but I really like the fact that it's a very active lifestyle and I would say I was a little bit nervous about making friends because sometimes in America, it can be hard to connect with people that are Americans, but there are also a lot of international students. And I don't know, for some reason, the intro to research is where everyone makes their friends. So if you're taking that class, yeah, that's where all my friends came from. But I'm sure there will be other classes where you will meet other people and the mechanical engineering department also makes events where you have some lunch together and you get to meet other people from your masters and you get to talk and hang out. So I think that's also a very good way of making friends. And one thing I really like about the culture is the professors as well. I think I had a really good relationship with all of them. They're super easy to approach, and if you have any questions, you can always ask. And then something that I enjoy about the university is the rec center. We had a huge rec center, super big, super nice. There is basketball courts, soccer courts, tennis, swimming pool. They offer so many classes. So if you're interested in sports or getting yourself to do a little bit more active lifestyle, the rec center is free for all master students and it's a really good facility. So yeah, I would say culture is great, and the masters, the reason why I chose is because of the design area.
Yeah, I think they both already talked much about Boulder, but I just want to say a few things. One is, so I have a professional experience already. So while choosing the course, I have to choose something which are related to engineering applications. So when you look at the focus areas, or they're like pretty much into the industry, like air quality or simulation design, whatever that you are actually studying, it actually relates to industry. So I started with the design stream, and then slowly I just my focus got shifted to heat transfer, as I've already said. So they are also like engineering applications based, which are really good. And yeah, I think they both talked about the geography, but I'll just tell one thing. So when you just search in YouTube that how CU Boulder looks in winter, you'll get convinced, and then you immediately pack up things and come to Boulder. That's what I would say. And yeah, like the relationship with the professors as well as with the community mechanical engineering department is really good. You get an opportunity to just have a meet with everyone every often. You get picnics and everything. So it's really good to have uh, kind of a community here, and then they'll be super helpful too. Like you get an immediate response from the advisors when you just mail for any things that you want to know. Yeah.
You've all talked about what Boulder looks like, so I put it in my background. The university is right there. So I think this is the engineering center right around here. So that's your view every day, which is quite lovely. So I know I live a little bit farther out, and the drive to campus is really pretty. So wonderful. Thank you. And thanks for the questions in the chat. I've been trying to answer them. So if you have other questions, or not in the chat, the Q&A, but if you have questions, put them in the Q&A or the chat, would be happy to answer them for you. All right. Next question. Research opportunities. And I think we've touched on this a little bit. I know Carlota, you have, but if you want to touch any more, like talk more about research opportunities in the ME department, as well as outside of mechanical, or Sadvik and Sarvan, I'm not sure if you do any research, but if you want to talk about that, go for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think before I talk. Um, Definitely at the beginning, what I was just doing is going into the university mechanical department website and try to look through all the advisors and filter by areas of interest. So I would go through advisors, go into their websites, which don't judge too much because sometimes they don't have it updated, so it might not look the best. But it still gives you an overview of what they're working on. And sometimes also the mechanical department would send emails regarding research opportunities or advisors who are looking for students. So that's also something to consider. When finding research opportunities, I did the entire process of from being in Spain, trying to send emails and trying to connect to professors, but maybe I reached out to 15 professors and only one answered. So it's not very effective until you're here. But once you're here is when you can actually understand what they're working on, what new projects they have, maybe if you're a good fit, or if they could suggest you some other advisors who might be more aligned with your interests. I think that the advisors community is very strong, and you definitely can find opportunities when talking to the right people. So I would say it's a slow process, and you need to be patient because sometimes it's that they also don't know when they're going to get more funding, and it's everything always up in the air if they're going to be able to take a student or not. So it's also sometimes a little bit of luck and being there at the right time in the right moment. But still you can, one thing I learned is that you can be a research student outside the mechanical engineering department. So if you don't find anyone who suits your interest in the mechanical engineering department, you can still go, like I talked to some advisors in the aerospace department, or if you're interested in electrical or industrial, any other department, you can also reach out to those professors. So that's also a really good tip of having the flexibility. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm covering also, yeah, if you once you are in person here, you can also talk to the students that are in the lab to learn about their culture, maybe ask some questions that you wouldn't ask to an advisor, like how is the work environment, how many vacations do you have, what kind of things do they like, do they not like about working in that lab. So students are also very open to talk about it. And yeah, I would say my biggest tip to just talk to everyone and get to know as many people as possible to find the right place for you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Sadvik. Yeah.
Yep. One point I'd like to add is even as a professional student, let's say if you're interested in any research, you can just reach out to the professors irrespective of what department they're in. You can maybe volunteer work for the lab, or maybe they can give you an hourly position so that being as a professional student, you can still get some research experience. And if you want to commit a bit more, maybe you can take up an independent study under them. So there won't be any restriction. Everyone is open. All you have to do is once you get here, you find a good lab that you're interested in and just reach out to them.
Yeah. Sadvik said that there's an independent study that you can just take. So if you are a professional student, so I'm a professional student, so I just, but still I want to do some research. So I just went to our department website and just check what are the research focus areas that we have and who are those professors who are actually doing some research. And then I just mailed them accordingly, like, and I got few responses. And then that's how I just had a discussion with the professors and then landed up into independent study because I don't want to do the entire research like how thesis student does for the year. So I just focused that for the 6 months and just take that as 2 credits. So that's how I am doing my independent study. So just don't worry about doing research when you're a professional student. You have an independent study to just do it. You can just take that for entire 6 credits divided into 3 per semester. So that is one thing that you can do. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm getting some great questions. I've been trying to answer them. Career questions, I think we have some great information on our MS admissions page, and I put that in the Q&A. Hopefully everyone could see that. Could everyone see the question about the Tableau site? Because you can search where our students go. But if not, let me know and I'll put that in the chat. And so there's opportunities to check where our students go. It's pretty broad, and Megan just did some research and has a list of industries. But Sadvik, do you have that content in front of you? I just don't have it in front of me. But I'm asking you as an MS ambassador. I don't know if she's shared that with you. So
I can pull it up.
yeah. So it's quite broad. There's a lot of local companies, but it can expand. But I did post the Tableau link and you can search updated data there. But the admissions site is pretty good too, because the Q&A has a lot of great information. Megan has done a great job updating that with our MS ambassadors. Another question, so this could be a good one for the group, about certificates. Are any of you in a certificate program? Maybe, so do any of you want to talk about one of the certificates?
Is that the, for example, design certificate? When you take a specific amount of courses in design, you get the certificate in design?
Yeah, there's a design certificate, food engineering, advanced mechanics, and failure analysis, and biomedical engineering. So I would say, is anyone doing one of those certificates?
Yeah.
Pursuing? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the design certificate. I mean, for me, I didn't see it as I have to do the certificate, because a lot of the classes that I took, I didn't realize that that would sum up and I would get a certificate. So,
Yeah. Already taken the classes, might as well get the certificate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't recall how many courses you need to take in order to have a certificate for.
Well,
Yeah,
that
so
one is 4, the others are 3.
Okay. Yeah. So I took advanced product design, design for manufacturability, graduate design 1 and 2. So that would be 4 courses. And yeah, it just depends on what you're looking to get out of your master's. If you want to have that design focus area, then the certificate will just come along because you will take a lot of the classes that you're interested in that are part of the certificate.
Yeah, and I would say this just makes your application. You can put it on your resume. You can talk about how you've taken these specific courses. It's a talking point. They're basically, and it's because you have to take these credits anyway for your degree. If you're interested in the area, take those credits, and then you can have it, and you don't have to take extra classes, which is really nice.
Yeah. And something else I learned by talking to Daniel Riffle, we also have CAD certificates. So if anyone is interested in learning about how to use SolidWorks, how to create products, how to use some of the tools that CAD offers, there are free certificates that you can ask for, and you'll just like watch the videos and get prepared and take the test. And those certificates are also really good because industries definitely look into having some CAD experience. So I think that it's very helpful for all students.
Yeah, so Dan Riffle, she mentioned him. He's a faculty member and the director of our mechanical design certificate. And just to add on to this, students, has the college helped students get internships? So a couple of you have talked about internships. Can you talk about how you got your internships? That would be helpful.
I'll let someone else talk because I'm talking too much. And then I can go.
You're fine, yeah.
For me personally, I've been working in some of the research over here. I don't have an internship yet. I was not actively looking for it in summer. But yeah, coming to the internship support offered by the department, we have engineering career services which will help you out in vetting your resumes, your profiles and stuff, and even the professors and the faculty here, they can help you out with making your resume better for whatever profile or a job that you're applying in. They can help you out in building connections as well. And coming to the student pool here, we have a good mix of full-time students and students who are working in the industry. So sometimes your friend can give you a referral for an internship. So that would be another opportunity. And coming to startup events as well, we have a good amount of them. So you can attend one of those events and then probably connect with some of the employees over there. So I would say there are a lot of opportunities. All we have to is look out for them. Just keep looking at your emails and utilize whatever opportunity you get.
Yeah. And I saw you're typing an answer to the question, so go ahead and finish that. I'm sure it'll be good. Sarvana, do you want to add anything or?
Yeah, I would like to share a few guidelines on the internship. So I actually got an internship for this fall, but I'm unable to make it because it's in California. I just can't go there when the college is happening here or something. So here are a few guidelines. So for summer, you can just do a full-time internship. You can go anywhere in US and then do your internship. Particularly for mechanical engineers, you can't do remote unless you're a design based engineer, like you're working on design CAD or CAD softwares or simulation software. But on fall, where actually you're going to college and you'll be in Colorado, so you have to just look for internships inside Colorado. If it's a remote, you can just do anywhere in the world. So you can just sit at your home and just work for the company. Yeah.
And this is something we haven't talked about. So MS professional students have to take a course, socio-technical industry skills, which I actually co-teach. And in that class, we do require the students to complete a career workbook, and you talk about your values, you set some goals, and then you do informational interviews, which are meetings with people to learn about the work that they do to build out your network. So one of those goals could be to go see a career fair and to meet people there and make some contacts there. So there's a lot of support in the department for that. And then Megan also will send out, she's updated our website so that you get regular updates of internships and places that are looking for interns. So there's a lot of support there. But in terms of, I'm say support, I should say resources. The actual work has to be driven by you. So you're the one that has to seek out those internships, follow up, reach out to people, and make those connections. There are people here who are happy to help you, but you have to drive that experience. No one is going to make you do an internship if that's not something you're motivated to do. So.
Yeah, adding on to that, for me, the biggest tip would be have a LinkedIn profile. For whoever who doesn't know what LinkedIn is basically a platform where you can meet people that are in industry. You can see all the job posts. It's just a networking platform for industry and for careers and to find job opportunities. So for me, what worked the best was to just create a LinkedIn profile, show my work there. Like if I've done a grad design project in my master's, I would post about that. If I did a portfolio, I would post that. If I did research and I went to a conference and I presented, I would post those things so that people could see my work. And at the same time, I would connect with everyone and just don't be shy and text them and send them a chat. They're humans. So for me, it never worked sending my resume through the webpage because they get so many resumes, so many curriculums that they sometimes a robot will just discard you based on your words that you have in your resume. So for me, the way I got my internships was to reaching out to the hiring manager of the position that I was interested in and talking a little bit about myself, sending my resume and say, hey, if you're interested or if you think I'm a good fit for your role, please reach out. We can have a conversation. And through LinkedIn, I've been able to have so many phone calls, talking to different people in the automotive industry, in Tesla, Rivian, Ford, Lucid. And it's just a great way of connecting quicker with people because people in LinkedIn are very active and the website, you don't know who is reviewing that resume, but if you can actually reach out to the hiring manager and they can just give your resume to HR, then the process is a lot quicker and your chances of getting an interview, it's a lot higher. So definitely, I would suggest looking into LinkedIn. And then regarding the internships, remote or not remote, one thing is that, for example, if in the case of being your last semester, because right now we're in fall semester, I'm in California and I'm still a master's student. So the reason why I'm able to do this is because the only coursework that I have left is just to defend my thesis. I don't have it to take any other coursework. And in that case, you can talk to the international office and see what are your options, and they might be able to let you do CPT remote. So in my case, I'm able to be in California during fall semester and still continuing being a student because my only coursework is defending my thesis. So that's also something to consider. And yeah, internships can be hard and sometimes they come and go, but definitely apply early so that way you don't feel in a rush if you want to have a summer internship. The summer internships, they recruit people in September of like the year before. So September, October, be looking already for summer internships for the next year. Yeah.
That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay. And we only have about 5 minutes left. This has been wonderful, good questions in the chat, and the Q&A, I mean, so thank you for that. If you have any more questions, put them in the Q&A right now because we will be closing out. And so with our panel, let's do one final question and let's look at the last question, which is any other insights about the program that you wish you knew before applying and or coming here to Boulder. So any other insights or maybe advice for students as they apply to programs and are in that application stage, and any advice that you have for them or insights? Go ahead, Sadvik.
Yep. One point that I'd like to mention is just go through the research, the resources that CU Boulder has to offer, and mentioning that in your application that a particular lab or a particular research or what way CU Boulder can help you get to where you want will kind of help in securing that admit. And that will be a good point good point to talk in your statement as well. So just go through our websites. We have everything there, and make sure you cover all of them in your application.
Great advice. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like just before getting those admit, yeah, you have to position yourself in a better way. Like for example, there are like five to six streams like focus areas here in Boulder. So if you are so focused about design, just plan yourself and just check for what are the courses there and how are those how when do they teach and what are those timings and everything, so that you can plan your entire things there. And then if you're going to do a part-time or something, so you can just plan that accordingly. Or if you're going to do a research, just start approaching the professors. Sometimes they might be busy, but still if you start reaching out to professors, you'll definitely get a response from any of the professors. And then you can be in touch with them and start doing your things. You can just prepare for everything that you're just going to do. Yeah.
For me, I would say that the thing that worried the most, and I feel like everyone feels this way, would be the financial burden, because everyone is so excited about doing this master's, and I'm sure a lot of people are very interested, but the financial stability that you might have might push you not to do it. So some tricks that I learned are, for example, once you regarding the health insurance plan, you're able to waive out of it. Sometimes for some people, like for example, in my case, it was like $3,000 for only this semester. So you can actually find other health insurance if you think you might not be able to cover it, and you can show proof of that other health insurance that you enroll in, and you can waive it. And another thing is we have a buff pantry that is a place where you can go get free food. Well, not free food, free groceries for all students. So if you think that that can release some of your financial burden and feel you more comfortable, you can. I would go to the buff pantry. You can ask for an appointment, and there is all kind of groceries that you can get for free, and that can help a lot. And then also regarding transportation, I never needed a car at all in Boulder. So that's also something good. You don't need to worry about having a car because there are a lot of electric bicycles that you can use and are free for students at the university. So I would just take those to go anywhere. And we also have I forgot the name of the CU night rides, which are basically taxis at night that you can get for free as a student. So I think after 7 p.m. they are available, and you can just book a ride and go wherever you want in like close to the university for free, and they can give you a ride. So those little tricks might not look very big, but they actually add up and they can save you a lot of money. So definitely look into those if you think it might be helpful for you. And last one would be housing. There is grad university housing, which is a lot cheaper than regular rent or houses in the area. So you don't have to pay for water, Wi-Fi, electricity, or anything like that, only the rent. And it is hard to get one of those, but if you're in the second year, you're most likely to get it. And it's also a really good way of saving a little bit of money.
Thank you. And I know we're at 10 o'clock. There was a question in the chat about an on-campus program, and I responded, but I would say it makes such a difference if you can make it to campus to have the connection with other students. These are your network. And also to faculty. It's just not the same as doing it online. It's more rewarding. It's more expensive because you're here, but that's the trade-off is you make these incredible connections with people, and it's beautiful to be in Boulder and actually to be on site. A lot of our students end up finding jobs in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you for all the wonderful questions. Thank you for those who've responded in the chat. really appreciate it. If you want to look through that quickly, that's in the answered section. But thank you to our panelists. Amazing job. I love hearing from you. I used to work more with students, but maybe I'll see some of you in my class in the spring. And thank you for our guests for the wonderful questions for our participants. And we hope you apply to our program. So have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you. Bye.